Hi friends, welcome back to Brilliant Blue Reviews. This video is going to be our review of the newest Pixar movie, Elio, which came out last Friday, I think. My son Ben and I just went to see it this afternoon on Thursday, June 26th. Poor Pixar. Pixar has been really struggling. I don't know if it's just different people working on the movies or what Disney and Pixar is actually like greenlighting for them to do, or I don't know. Pixar's just kind of taken a hit since the pandemic and things going straight to streaming, and they're just having a lot of trouble recovering, and they still make good movies. I still enjoy the movies, but they're definitely not as good as they were back in the day. I mean, you know, Toy Story, Cars, Up, Brave, any of those, you know, I mean, those were really good Pixar movies, and I just feel like they've kind of lost their zing a little bit. But we did want to go see Elio, and it was generally enjoyable. It's a perfectly good film for, it's animated, it's perfectly good for all ages. I would suggest, though, just because of a little bit more mature, serious themes, there's the death of both of the child's parents, and you find that out right away at the beginning. And, you know, there's a couple of scary creatures and stuff like that, you know, some peril. You might want to consider, you know, maybe older kids, and definitely go with your kids to see the movie so that they're not trying to figure this stuff out by themselves. The animation was really good. I did think the animation of the people, the humans, was a little bit odd. I don't know, just like their faces and their heads was kind of strange. But overall, the animation was good. The animation, especially of the creatures in space, definitely reminded me a lot of Strange World. And we saw Strange World, we saw it at Disney Springs on Thanksgiving Day in 2022, maybe, or whatever year that came out, 2023. If I can find it, I'll put a link to that video up here because I think we talked about it in there. It's actually a vlog from my travel channel, How Their Travels. If you're interested in travel content, make sure you check me out over there. It was a very nice, wholesome movie. The basic plot and premise is Elio is orphaned. His parents both died. Did they say if it was a car accident? I can't remember if they say how they died. I think it was a car accident. And so he's living with his aunt, Olga, who is his dad's sister. She's a single woman, and she's in the Air Force. And it's Montez, I think it was, Air Force Base. And I meant to look up, does anybody know if that's a real Air Force Base? When it first started, it almost looked like they were at Kennedy Space Center in Florida. Then I thought maybe they were in Alabama, and then it actually looked like California. So it never really explained. There was some big woods that she takes him to a camp, and there were like big, huge pine trees. So that made it look more like California. He's living with his aunt, and they're trying to make, you know, their relationship work. And he has this just insatiable desire to go to space and be abducted by aliens. And it doesn't really make any sense to me, but they kind of put it under the guise of like, he doesn't feel like anybody on Earth wants him. He doesn't feel like his aunt wants him. She has always wanted to be an astronaut, and she's kind of having to sacrifice her path, her career path, in the Air Force to take care of him now, and so she can't really pursue being an astronaut anymore. And so he overhears some of these conversations that she has with people about this and assumes that she doesn't want him. And so his desire to go to another planet and be with aliens is because he thinks somebody will want him out there. It's kind of loose, you know, they don't really explain it very well. And then it's completely fantastical. It has to do with like the Voyager probe that they sent way back. And these aliens finding the Voyager probe and then bringing him up, and the whole space part is really far-fetched and, you know, like fantastical. And Ben and I agreed that the parts in space were much less interesting to us and much less enjoyable to us than the parts set on Earth. The parts on Earth, which was it was probably, you know, there's a good chunk at the beginning, and then there's another good chunk at the end, and a little bit in the middle. So it's probably 2/3 of the movie is set on Earth, and we liked those parts better. We thought that the plot and the story and what was happening and how they explored different issues and stuff. And even the like funny moments and stuff like that were much better in the parts on Earth. And the parts in space, honestly, I got kind of bored. And I actually almost fell asleep because I was just like, and I was having trouble following it. And the creatures that there were in space where he goes, it was very like Strange World. None of them really had any real defining characteristics. They didn't stand out from each other. And there was kind of a bad guy in space, and we both said, oh my gosh, it's Zurg. It was like a cut and paste of Zurg with a little bit of difference. There was some funny stuff with cloning, and because like they clone Elio and send the clone back to Earth to like stand in for him, and that was kind of entertaining and funny. And then there's some cool like family stuff with him and his aunt, and he makes a friend, an alien creature, sorry, they're not really aliens when they live there, but a creature in space becomes his friend. And there's, a variety of adventures and things that happen, but it was about an hour and 40 minutes long, I think. So perfectly reasonable for kids. What? How long? 149. Oh, it actually was a little longer. Yeah, so it was almost an hour and 50 minutes. That space part does drag on a little bit, and might be, younger kids might get a little bit, restless. So, but the parts on Earth we really did enjoy. The basic theme or message of the movie is that you are not alone. And they cover that in a variety of ways. You are not alone, in your family, in your little life. You are not alone on Earth. You are not alone in the universe, so the basic message was you are not alone. It was actually pretty simple. It wasn't anything complicated. It was good. I mean, it had a good solid message. It had some very funny moments. The animation was quality animation. I would give it 3 out of 5, which means I liked it fine. And Ben said he would give it 4 out of 5. So he liked it a little bit more than I do. He did seem a little bit more engaged and a little bit more into it than I was. I was a little bit sleepy, so I might have just been tired. But I would recommend it. I mean, I definitely don't think it's something you need to skip. I do think that I've said this before, I'm a huge advocate of seeing movies in the cinema, in the theater experience. Movies are designed to be seen that way. To fully appreciate the quality of the picture and the sound and all the work that goes into making these movies, you really do need to be seeing it on the big screen in the cinema. So I really would push for you to try to see it in the movie theater. Although I'm sure that within a matter of weeks, it'll be on Disney+. I mean, try to see it in the movie theater if you can. Support your local movie theater and support Pixar because they really need the help. But yeah, I would recommend it. Again, 3 and 4 out of 5 from us for Elio, Disney Pixar's latest Pixar release. There are 2 post credits scenes. There's a mid-credits scene which goes back to the movie itself, like a little post scene that's kind of cute and funny. And then all the way at the very end, and I'm talking the very end, the usher, who we know because my son used to work at the movie theater last summer, he told us, because we had stood up and we were like, there was us and one other family had stayed all the way to the end to see if there was something else, because usually at the end of Marvel and Pixar movies there is something else, some kind of teaser scene, and there was. It was all the way at the end though. It was at the complete end of the credits and all the way at the end when they put the Disney castle back up and the Pixar lamp and the ball. But I said to Ben, the sound seems like there's going to be something else, something about the music. And then the usher came in and told us, yeah, guys, there's going to be a teaser scene, so don't leave. And sure enough, it was a teaser for Pixar's next production, which is Hoppers, and it's coming out in March 2026. So make sure you stay all the way to the end if you want to see that. There's not much to it, but I mean, I basically just told you what it was, but there are 2 scenes that you want to stay through the credits to see if you're into that. That's my review of Elio. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that it was helpful or interesting to you. If it was, please give me a thumbs up down below and make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss any of my upcoming movie reviews. Have a great day and I'll see you next time.